Hey, what is up, guys? And welcome back to another Magic the Gathering online league. We're back with Eldrazi Aggro on the draw for game one. This hand's awkward because I can't play Line Breaker as it stands, even though I draw into a 7-minute value spell. So, like, yes, I have 10 hits off the top. I guess we have 10, 14 if we try and K command. I mean, it's not the worst in the world. It's not great either, because really the only thing we can cast here is K command. I'm gonna mulligan one more time, see if I can find something better. How in the world am I drawing into my basic forest mountain? That is kind of wild. I'll keep it though since I have the Devourer. Flesh Rake into Flesh Rake seems tempting here. So I wonder if we pitch Visage and It That Heralds. Reveal Devourer and pass. Not thrilled with my opening hands, I'll be honest. I'm not thrilled with my opening hands. Blooming Marsh. Devour trigger. Alright, perfect. There's Ugin's Lab or Temple. There's actually... So, I don't think there's ever a reason to play Lab over Temple in this list. So I'm going to go Temple here. The main reason being for that, like, there just isn't anything that we want to cast with non-Eldrazi mana. Because in this case, Temple just basically acts as Lab and vice versa. So ideally we can just play Flesh Rake in the Flesh Rake and start draining them. Looks like this... I was gonna say this is Yogg, but the Urza Saga is new. Huh. Would have liked to also been able to evoke. But no dice there. We'll pass. And we'll pass. Starting town's also interesting. Setharoth. Okay. Trigger, Marionette. That's fine. Draw. There's Vestige. So the benefit here of Vestige, of course, is that we can trigger Flesh Rake. And then be able to play... So, like, here's my thought process, right? We could play Vestige, draw a card, play Flesh Rake, trigger Flesh Rake. I'm gonna pocket it for right now. I think getting a second Flesh Rake on board will be good. We'll play the Mountain. And at that point, pass. I do want to get rid of... Actually, I want to get rid of both Setharoth and Marionette Apprentice. Both of them, I feel like, are dangerous here. Saga trigger. Yeah, I'm trying to still figure out what the Saga's all about. I mean, this feels like Yogg. I guess it could be Warren Soul Trader? Huh. Blooming Marsh, Saga Starting Town. Springleaf Drum. Malevolent Rumble. Oh, interesting. So it must be a Yogg Broodscale hybrid, is what I'm seeing here. Yeah, it must be the overall answer. So, if they didn't grab Blade, makes me think they might have Blade. Young Wolf is interesting. Currently have access to 5 mana, so we are short for Vestige. Nice thing about Vestige next turn is it will trigger Flesh Rake, and we'll be able to ramp. There's the Young Wolf, 3 in hand. Okay. Interesting. Attack a Sephiroth, no blocks. You'll sacrifice a spawn or Young Wolf. Probably. Drains me for 2. And then hits for 3, get up to 13. Okay, so yeah, we definitely need to get rid of Sephiroth. You will be an issue otherwise. Draw. E-temp. Okay, well, that changes things. And so Flush Rake and Devour. Let's get Sephiroth off board. Thankfully, they shouldn't have an opportunity to flip. Now that they don't have the life gain, my drain from the Flesh Rakes will be pretty good. Alright. Devour ETBs, triggers. Alright. In that case, at this point, not much else we can do. We'll hold out the ability to respond on the off chance sacking the spawns is necessary. Okay. Another Saga. That's fine. Also, is this whenever another creature or artifact you control? That's important. What the hell is this? What the fresh what? K command. X equals 3. Okay. Makes 3 spawns and then scry draws. So they can push me down to a theoretical 8 right now. Ballista for 0? Why for 0? I guess for Soul Cauldron. Ooh. And then Aggie. Target spawn. Target Young Wolf. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, they can win here, can't they? Because, okay, so what Young Wolf does now is Young Wolf will remove that, then target self. Rinse, repeat, triggering the apprentice. Yeah? Is that what we're going to do here? Yes, okay. I'll concede in response. Interesting. So, do I name this as Yawgmoth or name this as Broodscale? Interesting. It's also possible it doesn't even run Yawg. It's possible that just runs Young Wolf along with Sephiroth in a similar version to the Golgari Sephiroth list that I ran, but maybe nixing, I don't know, either Glaring Flesh Rake or the Lighted Halfling in place of Young Wolf, so that way they can run this loop. I'm going to say this is Basking Broodscale, if I can type that is. Lost for game 1. Let's move to game 2. So this is Broodscale, Dismember, Wastegate, and potentially even Thief is good. Got a Null Drift. I'm not certain whether or not they run Emrakul, so I want to keep Bog. We can cut the Gemstone, keep the Ghost Quarter. Maybe drop the Vestige. Yeah, that seems right. On the play for game 2... Gotta be joking me. It's like, if I draw into summon a value spell, the hand is decent. It's a turn 2 Flesh Rake and a turn 3 TKS. 9 hits off the top, plus an additional 4 off a temp, so 13 Scroll will keep. Hopefully it pays off. Draw. Secluded Courtyard, name Eldrazi. And pass. Temple. Blade. That is awkward. Play the Courtyard, Eldrazi. And pass. Still have 14 hits off the top. Sorry, 13 hits off the top. To play TKS, because my main concern now is they have the Broodscale. They just slam Broodscale. We're in trouble. Okay, no Broodscale. They have a Flesh Raker. Looks like they have Flesh Raker. Okay, so what did they cut for the Young Wolf and Marionette Apprentice? Interesting. Hit that Heralds. I'll play Lab here. No Imprint, unfortunately. Play Flesh Raker of my own. And pass. Saga Trigger. You definitely need a TKS. Hopefully there's missing a green source and we can strip a key piece out of hand next turn. Okay, go with the Flesh Rake. That's fine. You can always attack over or through the Flesh Rake. So even if it gets big, that's not a horrible problem to solve. That's a bit annoying though, admittedly. I mean, we'll go with the TKS here. Null Drifter, we will Imprint. And cast TKS. Always yield. Sephiroth, Ballista, multiple Sephiroth, Young Wolf. Ugh. So the biggest thing is here that they don't have colored sources. They're going to have a Spring Leaf Drum next turn. I mean, getting rid of the Ballista gets rid of 2 damage. Multiple Sephiroth. Man, this actually is kind of rough. Young Wolf might be the play because of that infinite loop. I'll grab the Young Wolf and pass. So Saga Float. Springleaf Drum as expected. Lemur Waste. And then Sephiroth Marionette Apprentice. Does trigger the Flesh Rake, yeah. And then they have access. Interesting. Why would you not float or make it? Oh, I guess now you can play Sephiroth, that's why. I see. Very interesting build. There's Sephiroth. Yeah, that's a decent amount of damage, admittedly. I'm not gonna block. But not blocking here might kill me, too. Oof. Yeah, this is ugly. So, we can do a few things here. Name Eldrazi. I might actually have to TKS, right? Because if they play Sephiroth, let's say, yeah, if they play Sephiroth, we just lose, don't they? Don't we? So, 1, 2. We could kick Mycospawn, hit the Temple, and then hit that Heralds. That's a bit risky though, so we either go TKS, hit that Heralds, or Mycospawn, TKS. Let's start with TKS and hit that Heralds, I think. Yep, eats the Sephiroth. And then hit that Heralds. The only problem is now that if we block the Sephiroth, that's 1 damage. We are forced to block the Flesh Rake, that's 2 damage. This is getting a bit awkward, admittedly. If anything dies, and that's 3... Oh, actually, it might just be dead. Now that I look at it a bit harder, I might just be dead. Because Sephiroth will trigger if I block the Flesh Rake. Marionette Apprentice will trigger when I block the Sephiroth. So at the very least, that's 2 damage incoming. If I block the Marionette Apprentice, I think that'll be 3 damage. So I think at the very least I'm at 1. Or very most I'm at 1, as it stands. Yeah. Well, that is less than ideal, isn't it? Okay, so that's exactly what they're doing. Why sack there? I don't think that was correct. So if I block, and block, I die. Yeah, if I triple block, I die, is the bottom line. So I have to single block here. Draw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. I will get rid of the Saga. I do still wonder if they play Emrakul. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in that case, we want an E-temp. Name Eldrazi. And pass. That way we can play Null Drifter next turn. I mean, I think we just feed the Mycospawn the Glaring Flesh Rake, if nothing else. So I think we do attack with both TKS to apply pressure. And on the 10. I mean, 1 colorless creature and I'm dead. Huh. Yeah, we had a really slow start, both games. Oh, yeah. I am dead. Okay. Well, no reason to surveil their, or scry draw their friend. You got it. Interesting. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not necessarily surprised losing the Broodscale. They can go pretty wide. So if I don't get a fast start, it feels pretty rough. And we very much did not. But that being said, we'll be back for match number 2. Alright, and they're back for match 2. Another slow one. Just 7 mana value spells up the wazoo. No castables either. Our best hit off of Devourer. Technically, it'd be an It That Heralds. I suppose if we do hit an It That Heralds, it'll allow us to evoke Null Drifter to dig deeper. In addition to, if we hit Soul Lands, yeah, fine. We can make it work. Reveal. There's a soul land. So in that case, play the Cavern of Souls, name Eldrazi, and pass. And pass. Wooded Foothills, fetch. Steam Vents, shock. Is it prowess? Ragavan looking like Zoo then. Yeah. Alright, Ugin Lab, Imprint, Devourer. I'm going to evoke and dig a bit deeper. Not exactly what I want to be doing here right now, but we'll make it work. Draw 2. K command is good. And pass in full. So if K command, ideally, what this will allow us to do is exile the Ragavan ramp, and then ramp into Sire on turn 4. A bit slower than I'd like, but it is something. We do need to be mindful of Stubborn Denial, though. Ragavan hits. Mountain, that's fine. Not thrilled by that. The fact they're passing and not doing much else is a bit suspect. So I'm thinking we K command on their turn for X equals 1. I would like to go X equals 2 so we can ramp into the Sire, but again I'm a bit concerned about Stubborn Denial. Alright. On upkeep then, ramp exile, exile Ragavan. And done. At the very least, next turn we can evoke another Null Drift. I'm just thinking about something. Alright, Ragavan down. Mesa fetch. What do they have in hand that they're not playing? They had mana last turn. Enough for Kavu, enough for Sign of Draco. Huh. There's a Sign of Draco. So now I think I want to probably prioritize the World Break over the Sire of 7 Deaths just so we can exile it. Draw. Ghost Quarter's not doing too much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. I need a soul land, ideally. Flesh Rake's pretty good. Do like that. Mega Spawn as well. I do want to play the Flesh Rake, but admittedly I think that might be a bad idea. Instead I'm going to play the Ghost Quarter on the off chance that it's relevant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now we just hope they don't interact with our spawn. In a worst case scenario, we can always Ghost Quarter their Triumph to reduce the number of types they have on board, in case that is relevant. So at most we get hit by 4. Red, Ragavan, Bolt, Tribal Flame, could be Kavu. Red, white. Probably Tribal Flames then. Could be another Scion. Dashed Ragavan. I want to block it, but I'm not going to. So I'll take the 6 down to 12. What do you hit off top? Cavern of Souls, that's fine. Alright. What else you got, opponent? Nothing else. I feel like they have a Leyline Binding then. Draw. Their Flesh Rake. Secluded Courtyard, name Eldrazi. World Breaker. World Break Sign of Draco. We'll pass. They'll probably get eaten by a Leyline Binding, would be my guess here. No Leyline Binding, that's surprising. I mean, next turn I'm thinking in that case, Sire's 7 deaths. I guess we also could shrink the number of types on field by kicking Myco Spawn. If we do that, we could kick Myco Spawn and play Flesh Rake. That is actually tempting. Try and play around at Tribal Flames. Because right now they only have 3 types on field, not including the Triome. I guess otherwise I could just keep up the Ghost Quarter. Yeah, that might... Oh, no, I can't. Right now I only have 6, so I need a Soul Land if we want to do that. Draw. No Soul Land. Name Eldrazi. The other consideration here is that opponent... No, if opponent is going to play Flage, they're going to play Flage. They have the treasure to do so. Again, we could play around the Tribal Flames by kicking the Myco Spawn, getting rid of the Triome, and playing the Flesh Raker. I think the Sire 7 Death is probably the safer option, though. So let's do that. And then, do I attack? They could still have a Leyline Binding here. I don't want to take damage right now, so I'm going to hold. No Leyline Binding again. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Would love a Soul Land so we can play the Devourer. Do you pitch a Flage? That is the question. Yep, there's the Flage. I was right about that. Do you have Arena of Glory? So that's not the end of the world, since we have the Sire on board if it sticks. Yeah, the biggest question here is whether or not you can deal with the Sire. If you can deal with the Sire, then I'm in trouble. If not, I think we have control of the game. Paying cost for... Looks like Flage. That will put me down to 9. Okay. Oh, Leyline the Guild Effect. Okay. Why do that? Interesting. I mean, you already had all 5 types, right? Oh, no, you didn't. No, you did. Yeah, planes. Yeah, you did. Kavu, okay. And draw. There's an E-temp. So in that case, I'm gonna go and attack with Sire's 7 Death and see if they have a Leyline binding like I think they do. Two, three, four, five, six, 7. Yep. No blocks. Now that's just weird. Alright, in that case, I'm not all too worried then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I can start with a Glaring Flush Rake. And then kick with Sowing Mycospawn. And we'll kick the Triome. I'm gonna grab Bajuka Bog off of Mycospawn and drop the Flage out of yard. And there's Bajuka Bog. Target you. No Flage. Triggers. And ETB. Alright. What say you, opponent? 3 cards left in hand. You have a Kavu, but now you're at 6 life. So Sire's 7 Deaths has pseudo hexproof. Can you deal with Sire? Thankfully, Sinodraco does not give haste. And Pwn skips it up. Alright, we'll take the win against Zoo. Yeah, this deck definitely plays like a ramp hybrid at times, it feels like. It's kind of interesting. Because, I mean, I have a very similar creature package in the 7-minute value slot. It's just missing Emrakul. For Zoo, we want Wastecape Battle Mage. That much is certain. We want this member. TKS can get cut here. Ghost Quarter can also get cut. And I guess I could cut a Null Drifter instead, but like TKS dies of Tribal Flames, Leyline Binding, so it's kind of meh in that regard. So yeah, I think we drop the TKS. Keep the Bog for obvious reasons because of Flage. Thief isn't doing much, if anything. Yeah, this seems good. Alright, on the draw for game 2. That's a mulligan. That's a mulligan right there. Okay, this is interesting. Gemstone Caverns, Pitch Bog. Actually, do I even want Gemstone? I mean, the answer is yes, I do. Yeah. So Gemstone Caverns, pitch It That Heralds. Pass. Because then we play It That Heralds, the turn after we can play the Myco Spawn. Yeah. That makes sense to me. That way we can ramp into either Vestige or a 7-mana value spell if we draw into another land. Would be ideal. Yeah, this version definitely feels a bit more mid-rangey at times. Like, sometimes it can have the aggro starts of, you know, turn 1, It That Heralds into line. Okay. I mean, I'll take the win. I'm just confused by it. Alright, well, we'll be back for match 3. Alright, we're back for match 3, and this right here is the prime aggro hand. So, hey, thank you, Drank Sawala. Hello. I appreciate you. So it looks like we're up against Belcher, which makes this hand... Oh, Jesus, this just got better? I didn't think this hand could get better. So, this hand's kind of nuts. Let's be completely clear. This hand is absolutely bat crazy. Because we have a turn 1 It That Heralds, and a turn 2 Line Breaker, and a turn 3 Anti-Causal Vestige. Or Vestige. Yeah, this is gonna get nutty. So we are going to cast Line Break. And then Line Break, target Line Break, always yield. Into a Flood Maul. Well, that's just rude. Opponent, why are you playing Flood Maul main? Oh, well, now this got complicated. We do have Ghost Quarter in our back pocket. Oh, that is tempting. Flare of Denial. Draw. Okay, they missed a land drop. That's really important to note. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. I mean, if they flare the Line Break, am I okay with that? I'm kind of okay with that. Yep, there's the flare. Attack of It That Heralds. And pass. Philology. They're looking for lands. They're whiffing, though. Imagine they take another flare. Shocker. Okay, they did hit a land this time. Draw. Me, I was really hoping for a soul land there. So, we have a few options. I don't want them to get to 4, right? So I think the best thing for me to do here is the cast Myco Spawn. You flare the Myco Spawn, you do not. We're gonna grab a Ghost Quarter. I'm gonna Ghost Quarter the Plaza. Since they've been short on lands, I think that's correct. And they pass. We know they have the flare. We draw. We can use the K command as permission, or we can just force through the line break. Trying to force through the line break feels objectively bad. So I'm thinking, I guess we can use the K command as permission. Alternatively, I can just play another It That Heralds. That way you can try and get another It That Heralds through. Let's do that. Spell Snare, of course. In that case, I will attack. And I think I'm going to draw off Null Drifter here. Draw 2. Let's try and find a land. There we go. And a TKS as well. Lovely. Name Eldrazi. And pass. 2. Trainer. Trainer finds a land out of Imagine. Yep, there's the Jawari. They are tapped out, but they do have the flare. You need to be mindful of that fact. A mountain. So I can attempt to resolve the TKS. We know the TKS will not resolve. Unfortunately, that doesn't leave much else after. So we play the line break, then we only have X equal, or 3 mana basically. We could attempt to resolve the Vestige. That's not going to do much. I mean, the TKS makes sense here, I think. Alternatively, I can devour the Philagi. Actually, let's devour the Philagi. Let's do that. Devour the Philagi. This allows me to attack in with the It That Heralds. And if they don't want the body on board, they'll flare it. Yeah. Okay. And then we go to combat. They'll block. Down to 10. If we can resolve the line breaker, we might just win. And they pass. Okay. Another Devourer. I mean, I could just TKS to try and disrupt. I mean, the line breaker just wins us the game outright. And I think we will line breaker. There's another flare. Go to combat. Down to 4 lethals on board. And we got that. Alright, so this is Belcher. Win for game 1. Let's move to sideboard. So for Belcher, we want Dismember and Flute. We can cut Bog. There's a world where it's relevant, but cut Bog, keep Ghost Quarter, cut a Null Drift, keep TKS. So I think that case we cut as many Vestiges as we are comfortable with. And go like this. Yeah, this seems right. This one's a bit awkward. I will keep it though. I'd like to resolve this TKS if possible. Tapped. And draw. Devourer, you're a bit late to the party. Pass. Yeah, 7 hits off the top, and we have 3 K commands. I'm tempted to cycle this K command then. Bolt in response. I'm gonna scry draw, try and find a soul land. Hit that heralds, no soul land, that's fine though. Finds Consigner Seagate, takes the whir. Draw. Myco Spawn's relevant here. We'll play Cavernous Souls, name Eldrazi. And play It That Heralds. So all the bodies will resolve at this point. Harbinger's actually backbreaking. Yeah, that's a major problem. Shoot. I'll pass. Because we have a waste in the deck and 2 dismembers to deal with this. Anti-causal Vestige actually is kind of good into Harbinger, funny enough. Because you can warp it for 4 generic. There's Charbelch. I'm in danger. Draw. Lab doesn't do it. Oof. Oof, oof, oof. Yeah, I can't play anything. Not a single card. Now they have Whir in hand. They have Goblin Charbelcher in hand. E-Temple does nothing. They'll Whir on end step. I'll concede. Alright. Well, unfortunate, but that's Harbinger for you. And we will cut Gemstone Caverns for another anti-causal. And run it back. On play for game 3, I will keep Lab, Imprint, pass. I'd love to knit that Herald's there. Or even a flute. Hell, I would take a flute. Tapped, so we should be clear to play the Flesh Rake. The K command is tempting, admittedly, but we'll go Flesh Rake here. And pass. And pass. Excuse me. Feels like Consign. Ghost Quarter. Excuse me. So, we can do a couple things here. I could play K command and try and ramp for Myco Spawn. I kind of like that idea. Otherwise, we can play the Myco Spawn, try and ramp into Vestige or Devourer. I think I will attack with Flesh Raker. And then pass and use command as permission. That way we can ideally kick the Myco Spawn. I guess the only thing that would be unfortunate... Ooh. So, this is kind of interesting. I will K command. Ramp Exile, or ramp Scry Draw. We'll have access to 5 mana next turn. Actually, sorry, 6. Yeah, 6 mana next turn. But no colored sources, which is the only downside. So bottom Myco spawn. Top Cavernous Souls. Triggers. And pass. And draw. World Break. In that case, I will cast Devour of Destiny. No flare. And combat. Okay, so we're actually in a pretty good spot because of this World Breaker. I'd otherwise be concerned about them just slamming down a Char Belcher here. I'm kind of okay if they do. Flaji finds a land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'd like a land. Flute. Ooh, flute's interesting. In that case... Oh, shoot. That's right. I can't make it uncounterable. Because it's an unknown creature type. Because of, whatchamacallit. Harbinger. We'll get rid of the Plaza. And there's Consign. So from here, we can grab E-Temp. Yeah, I think E-Temp is correct. Yep. Go to combat. Well, I guess they don't have to block the flash rake, admittedly. This is perfect. Oh, did they realize that if they have the flare, they need to hold it? Yes, that's perfect. Because now we should be able to play flute pretty freely. And then name Goblin Char Belcher. And pass. I guess maybe attacking the flash rake would have been worth it. Even if they blocked, they would have taken 6 then. Yeah, probably should have attacked with a flash rake. There's Tameshi, that's fine. Not fine, but fine. There's Lotus Bloom. Alright. So if Lotus Bloom, they can do what? So 3, really 2, if they then activate again. 2, 5, 8, 11. 11 minus 7 would be 4, so they would still have enough for something to bounce the flute. Oh. Interesting, they're gonna pass. There's K command. We could just attempt to exile the Tameshi. No reason to do so, though. So I think the best thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In that case, I think we just attack in with Devourer and Myco spawn to start. I mean, I guess they actually are forced to block the Devourer, aren't they? Yes. So let's tackle in. Interesting. So you have to have something here, right? Otherwise you lose. And you have to do it before damage. Suspend. Interesting to see this card coming back. So I'm only dealing 3 down to 5. What I'm thinking of doing then is if this is 3 down to 5, I need this to be x equals 4. Exile, ramp. One more. X equals 2, 3, 4. Yeah? We hold up the Ghost Quarter. Actually, I wonder, is that the best course of action? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We also could just go after 2 lands. That might be the better play. Alright, fine. We'll do that. Creatures, opponent controls. Okay, well now you just enabled me to do this. Because if you flare, that's fine. Yeah. Ramp, exile. I think we just go all in then. X equals 5. And that should be lethal damage. No, I guess we're 1 short, which is fine. Because now I can just play Vestige. And there we go. Alright, we got there. Bit of a dicey one there. But we were able to get there. GG's, Drink. GG's. Alright, well, we'll be back for match number 4. Alright, and we're back for match 4 on the play for game 1. That's a mulligan. Not much better. Hits off top 8, specifically. Mulligan. Keep. Pitch. Pitch. Reveal. Trigger. Line break. I mean, a line break and the line break's pretty decent. I would like to go for the Vestige, but we can't guarantee a land. Yeah. Line break it is. Imprint. Devourer, because that way we can always evoke the Null Drifter to draw 2. One of the reasons why I do like the Null Drifter. Sometimes this is Titan? No. What the fresh what? Ghost Quarter is interesting. Eldrazi. I'm a little bit scared of that Ghost Quarter, I'm not gonna lie. Pass. Nurturing people. What in the world? White. Ghost for a mountain, for a forest. It doesn't matter actually, since we have the Cavernous Souls. We'll go forest. I would like a land, of course. Draw. Courtyard. Name Eldrazi. Triggers. I mean, this could very well just be enough. Just beating face with the line break since they have trample. Down the 2. Bold, move Cotton. I mean, you can make the white bigger by sacrificing the Boreal Grazer. You could even grab another Ghost Quarter if you have one. Huh. Using that Nurturing Peatland, though, a little bit dicey. Put you down to 1. Like I said, sometimes 2 line break is enough. Springheart Nantuko. I thought the last I saw of that godforsaken card was when Nadu died. Alright, here it is. Attack. Yep. Draw. Micah Spawn, unfortunately, is not enough. Draw 2, always yield. Oofda. Evoke, always yield. So when I attack, we have 5, 10, 3, 6, 7, 10 exactly. I mean, yeah, we just attack all in. Yep. If we unfortunately had one more, we would have had enough, but no dice. So they're forced to block with a white. It does leave back the Nantuko. This also means the Peatland is offline, which is good. Oh, actually, they don't have enough. Because, yeah, they simply don't have enough. Because of the distribution of creatures here. Yep, they're going to be one short. Yeah, they can't make it work. It doesn't matter. Nope, it doesn't matter. If you sack the Grazer, more damage goes through. Yeah, that's the game. Good stuff. Funny enough, if they hadn't tapped the Nurturing Peatland, they would have been at 1. That is actually funny. Or would have been, yeah, they would have been at 1 after combat. No, still will not work. Like I said, no matter how you slice it, you will lose. Unless they have a way to grow the white to 5 toughness. Yep, we got there. I have no clue what I'm playing against. I'll be real. 0 clues. Bajuka Box seems reasonable. Not sure about the Ghost Quarter though. We cut the Ghost Quarter. The white seems annoying. Maybe cut a Drifter here and run it back like this. On the draw for game 2. If only you were a 7 mana value spell, you'd be so much better. Okay, so what are our hits off top here? Not much. Yeah, we'll mulligan this. Ooh. Ooh. I will keep this. This is interesting. So I'm thinking, yeah, I'm thinking we pitch that heralds, or we pitch it that heralds with TKS, turn 1 Flesh Rake into K command after. Yeah, we'll pitch that heralds. Done. Reveal. Exile. Pass. And draw. Devourer. Not really the card I wanted to see off top, but we can make it work. Pass. Especially if a K command, X equals 3 next turn. Wooded Foothills, fetch 19. Lush Port, Surveil trigger, resolves. Do you have a Fatal Push for the Glaring Flesh Rake? Maybe. Oh, Explorer, okay. There's the push. Unfortunate but expected. TKS. Let's clear the way of TKS. Always yield. What you got? What in the what? What are you? When this creature enters, target opponent reveals their hand and may choose a non-land from it. If you do, exile. The exile card's owner creates a XX, where X is the mana value. I don't want that. No. Goodbye. If the Springheart Nantuko, that seems absurd. No, thank you. We can exile Nantuko next turn. They play Nantuko, they play a forest. Yep. That's expected. And expected. And draw. Null Drifter. I'm going to K command. I'm going to exile Nantuko and ramp. And done. And combat. I'd like a... No, actually, no, we're good on mana for Devour Null Drifter next turn, which is good. Down to 15, we'll pass. How do I play the Springheart? That's rude. So they'll eat the Devourer, and they want to then put Springheart Nantuko onto the Severance Priest, basically. Yeah, that's annoying. And draw. Linebreaker. Well, Linebreaker is pretty good here. Linebreaker target. Always yield. 8. Alright. Down to 7. I mean, you can Nantuko onto Priest. Okay. If you have a land, you can make a copy, steal Null Drifter. Oh, actually, yeah, you still can, because Vestige will make a mana. Yep. So you can make a copy, you can eat the Null Drifter. Okay. And pass. If I draw a Devourer, I win. Oh, it's Sire 7 deaths, I win. It says non-land, right? So in that case, line break. Yep. Yep. I get 2 7/7s? Wait, what? Where X is the mana value. Oh, mana value. Oh, that's so much worse for you. I thought it was like Skyclave app. I guess it is mana value as well. Wow. Okay. Interesting. Springheart? Okay. Make another Springheart. Okay. Yeah, that's gonna be a lot of bugs. Oh, I'm not happy to see Springheart Nantuko again. Give me freaking PTSD flashbacks to Nadu. Gonna be a lot of insect tokens. Fetch. We're down to 2. So a line breaker would get me there. I'm pretty sure. Unfortunately, we don't play Allah's Dust right now. Yep, all the insects. And there's a Sire 7 deaths. So this is, for all intent and purpose, hexproof. So play an unclaimed territory, name Eldrazi. Go to combat. Basically, you're going to have to put 7 toughness in front of Sire every single turn going forward unless you can deal with it. And you have to not be able to target it, which is the biggest thing. Oh, I blocked the Dryad Arbor. I feel like the Dryad Arbor would be... Oh, Corda Calling. Right. What the fresh hell are you going to Corda Calling? For 4. What this? White? Sure, that's fine. Alright, we'll pass. Again, you have to put 7 toughness in front of Sire every single turn. I guess the good question here is, can white grow to 8 toughness? Probably. Springheart Nantuko. So many Springhearts. So many insects. Right now, white can go up to 6 toughness. So it's not too big of a threat yet. Fetch. Springheart. Okay. They have to block the spirit tokens, and they have to block the Sire. What is this? What are you doing now? GSC for 2? For another white. Okay. So both whites can move up to 6 toughness. Flesh Rake. So, I mean, you can definitely make my life difficult. Because if I attack into Sire right now, you can block with 7 insects. Right? And I think we just attack into the Sire, don't we? I mean, if they block with both whites and the insects, maybe we don't attack him then. Can we just play the Flesh Raker? and then say, cool, I draw into a single colorless creature, I win. Yeah, I think we just pass. Say, come at me. What an interesting deck. White, yep. For what? Ghost Quarter, I suppose? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? No, wouldn't matter. Any color spell and I win. I guess if you have something that gains you life. Nurturing Peatland definitely ain't that, but it does give you a redraw, admittedly. So many insects. There's the redraw. You need to deal with the Flash Rake. Yeah, it's becoming too many insects to really deal with. All his dust would be good right now, but we don't play it. Maybe I should play a copy. Might not be a bad idea. Alright. And do you just pray now they don't draw into a color spell? Your prayers have not been answered, if so. Triggers? Is that the game? You need interaction for Flash Rake. There is no reason for you not to do so on your turn, though. Because if I drew into a K command, for example. Really? What is this? Is this a Chord of Call? Yeah, Chord of Calling. For what? What could you possibly have that would stop? I guess you could have something to destroy the Flash Rake, but again, you should do it at sorcery speed in that case. Why do it at instant speed? Okay, for 6? Eh. Oh, sacrifice itself? Wait, aren't you now leaving yourself vulnerable to Sire's 7 deaths? What is happening here? You sacrificed an insect. Underground more. Okay, so you're gonna make more insects now. Okay. And draw X cards equal to that creature's power. So you'd only gain 3. And draw 3. I guess you could sacrifice the white. But again, that leaves you vulnerable to Sire. Making more Nantuko. They sacrifice the Springheart? No, what did they sacrifice? Oh, the tapped white. Okay. Down to 5. Down to 4. So, let's do some math real quick. White can become a 7/7, so it can cleanly block the Sire. if they do that, it still needs 7 more. Oh, they drew 5 cards. Jesus. If they do that, though, they would still need 7 more to kill it. Which they have 4, 6, 7, which they have. I can attack them with 2 spirit tokens. I don't think that would push the needle very far either ways, though. The Sire 7 that's might just be better on the defensive. Because, yeah, they would use the 7, then block 2. It would give me the white, sure. But then what? Yeah, I'm not sure if that would be beneficial. Because then we're having to deal with all these insect tokens. Versus I can just potentially kill them off the flesh rakes. We'll pass. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else for me to do. Because they can't deal with the Sire. Unless they have non-targeted removal. Interesting. Very interesting. Yep, so now they get Ghost Quarter. Trigger Springheart, make more Springhearts, make more tokens. I mean, at this point, we're just trying to kill him with the Flesh Rake, nothing else. Well, pass in full, there's not much else I can do, to be completely honest. If they do another Freyalise. Oh. Wait, do I just die? Oh no. That's fine. So make more insects. Springheart Nantuko. You make a 5/3. So I guess now they can Nantuko the elemental. The thing is about Nantuko is it doesn't end games. It just creates this obnoxious board state to keep track of. Ghost Quarter, sure. I'm not all too concerned about that. I'll grab a mountain. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's only game 1, isn't it? Can I confirm here? No, it's game 2. Right. Okay. Nantuko. Makes more insects. And passing. Alright, show me a colorless spell. Draw. Damn. So I could go after the priest. I could go after a Springheart. I think going after the Springhearts is pretty nonsensical here. Going after the priest might be right, though. It'll make 5/3s. This is such an obnoxious board state. I don't like it one bit. See, like, we could do something tricksy, which is attacking with Sire, have them block with, you know... What they should do is just block in with everything, right? There's no reason for them not to. So I'm not going to do that. This member is actively bad. Fetch trigger in response. I'm thinking I just get rid of the Titania. And do that. Or white, we'll sack it. Yeah, I'm not sure if that was beneficial or not. Guess we'll find out. Oh, I realized something. I think they can win here. And the reason why I say that is because I'll block the Sire, but the white can sack because it has vigilance. Right. Yeah. Then Nantuko's just generated too much value. So yeah, they should win here at this point. They have enough tokens to win. Yeah, they just Alpha Strike and they win. Yep, they just Alpha Strike. Yep. So in that case... Actually, how do you read? Hold on. How do you read? Another creature. That is so important here. So I have to block here. I'll block here. Well, I guess actually we need to block the 5/3s. And then we can block Nantuko, Frailis, you, Nantuko. And then say, go for it. So I'll go up to 25. White sacks. Golgari Rot Farm picks up a Seiju. So I'm at 25. Was there enough damage on board? Honestly, I don't know. Do you have an Otawara? What is this? What is happening here? I was making more copies of Springheart. Okay. Do I die? I still lose. Oof. By a non-insignificant number. Alright, let's go to game 2. Interesting. So, Wastecape Battle Mage then. Yeah, Ghost Quarters doesn't seem relevant. I'm not sure Bog is either. Bog out. Gemstone out. We could argue Thief. Dismember seems relevant. Wastecape seems relevant. So I think we cut some number of anti-causal. And run it back like this. Yeah, that seems right. Alright. And I mean, we have Thief into Myco spawn. K command will keep. Might want to go Secluded Courtyard first. At the same time, we draw into a soul land. We'll play the E-Temp pass. And pass. Go to Foothills and pass. Draw Flesh Rake. Name Eldrazi. Hope you don't have a Fatal Push in hand. Pass. And shock for push. Yep, that's fine. Not ideal, but fine. Next turn we can hold K command. Wall Roots. In that case, I'm going to bolt the bird. Courtyard, name Eldrazi. Let's bolt the bird. And done. Next turn we can kick a Myco Spawn. Interesting deck. It interests me, I also hate it with a passion. This deck seems like it would be a menace. Both to play... Grist. Okay. We can eat Grist. It's a 1-1. Mills. Draw. Sire. So I'm thinking we go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Kick Myco Spawn. We need to hold up a green here. Kick. Overgrown Tomb. And then go E-Temp. Thief. Green. Eat Grist. And pass. And pass. Thief is good. Paying cost. Springheart on an insect. Make another insect. Well, that sure is annoying. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can play Sire next turn. Anti-causal. Green. 2, 5. Land down. Pick up E-Temp. I could play the anti-causal as warped. There's actually no reason for me not to, funny enough. Block with the insect. We just need to continue to apply pressure. So yeah, there's no reason for me not to. Warp. Trigger. Always yield. Always yield. 3, 4, 5, 6. Ah, we are 1 short on the Devourer. Brutal. We'll pass. Mr. Rainforest. Track. Jareen Springheart. We can get rid of the Springheart. Grazer to Yard. And pass. I mean, no reason to make a copy. I'm actually kind of curious why they did that. Yeah, that's strange. Why would you specifically want to do that? When just for not tapping to... Huh. One scoops it up, and we'll take the win. Alright. Interesting deck. Hate it, but it's interesting at the very least. With that being said, we'll be back for match number 5. Alright, and we're back for match number 5 on the draw for game 1. This hand is gas. Pitch the unclaimed territory, pass. The question is whether or not I want to go line break in the line break or Glaring Flesh Raker. Oh, that may Thoughtseize me. So, it might take one of the two. That's still fine. It's a turn 1 line break or turn 1 flesh rake. Either way is very, very solid. I think turn 1 line break is probably right. That's because we can smack him in the face for 4. Yep. And they force my hand on that anyways. Draw. E-Temp. Line break. 4, down to 12. Pass. I'm gonna hit him for 10 next turn if left untouched. Draw. Cavernous Souls, name Eldrazi. Add an Abundance of Caution. Line Break. Line Break, targets Line Break. Line Break, targets Line Break. Always yield. Alright, what say you, opponent? Block. 2 damage to another Goyf. Do you have another Fatal Push? You do. But you then have 3. So I have lethal on board. Pass. I'd love some action off the top. Mort. Surveil. Bones. Okay. And Bones scoops it up. Yeah, double line break is pretty good. Also, I completely forgot to name that last one. Springheart Nantuko. I want to say I spelled that right. I'll have to double check later. No idea what I'm playing against though. Another Goyf, Emperor Bones, kind of rockish. It's hard to say. I mean, Bajukabog seems good here. Ghost Quarters maybe not, but I don't know. I mean, Dismember seems reasonable. They have push, but they have to kind of jump through hoops to hit the Thought Knot. So maybe just pitch the Causal. Alright, let's do it like this. Kind of hard to sideboard when you don't know what you're up against. Plays first. I mean, this is a turn to Flesh Rake or TKS. We'll keep. Is that decide what we want to play? Like, I'm tempted to go Flesh Rake into TKS, but might be right to TKS first. Urborg. Urborg, interesting. Draw. It's kind of afraid to see Myco spawn, not gonna lie. See, Urborg makes me think that they're playing Coffers. Or... Ooh, that's rude. Break the ice. Draw. Lab. With Eatem. Pass. And pass. Very rude. Or the Belmer. Vampire Hexmage. What the fresh hell? But then... Okay. Huh. Huh. I'm gonna grab that Hexmage from hand. No Hexmage for you. Hexmage, Belmerk, Bones, and another Overlord. We're grabbing the Hexmage, because screw that. And passing. Vampire frickin' Hexmage. Huh. Fascinating. Another Overlord. Grabs a Trawler. And actually, they could grab Spell Bomb or Shadow Spear, I suppose. Declines. Swings for 5. I'll go down to 11. Or not. Draw. Lab. So I could Bajukabog them. That's a thought. Bajukabog you. And I suppose just play the Flesh Rake. And I mean, the thing is about the TKS, it enables their fatal push, which I kind of hate. But not doing anything feels wrong as well. Yeah, we'll attack with the TKS. If they want to block, they can block. They block. So push is online then. Yep, TKS down. And pass. They have bones and 2 unknown. Okay, so they are playing Saga, so it's rock-ish. Very rock-ish. I guess they can TKS. Grab my Myco Spawn that I can't play. Yeah, that's a thought. And I'll do just that. Hit me for 4. Yep. Would love to see a K command maybe? 6. I mean, an anti-causal would be okay. No blocks. Down to 12. Triggers. Yeah, had we seen the Overlord of the Balemercs, that would have been Wasescapes as well. Draw. Ooh, look at that. So, I can play Ghost Quarter. Play Hit That Heralds, trigger. Play TKS, take a look at my hand. It is another Saga. Rude. Alright. And then I am going to wait until after you draw. Draw. Now Ghost Quarter. Bye, Saga. Fails defined? No shot? Okay. So they only have 2 basics in their deck. Huh. Noted. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so we have a ton of hits off top right now. Let's Ghost Quarter. Yep. Trigger. So Devour would be good. I'll take a World Break. Oh no! How are you missing green sources of all things? I mean, I guess at the very least the lab insulates the World Breaker from a Thoughtseize effect. That's just frustrating though. Attack with TKS. Down to 11 or no. Yeah, so we just need a green source. We have a decent number too. 1. Yeah. Needs the Emperor. Do you have a push or a Bowmaster? You do not. I'll pass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Saga trigger. You can make a construct now. It will only be a 1/1, admittedly. The main issue is the Overlord of the Balemerc. I mean, that's fine. Return. Okay. Witherbloom Command. Okay. And return Saga hand. Makes sense. Saga, and then Overlord of the Bailmerk. Yep. Give me a green source, give me a Devourer, give me a K command. Oh, you know what? I'll take it. And funny enough, thank you, Urborg. Dismember. Play a mountain. Go to combat. I should have attacked with the spawn. Completely forgot it was a 1-2. That actually might prove to be relevant. Makes a construct? Nope, just floats. Okay. Floats and finds what? I guess they could always recur the Nethergoyf, right? Yeah. That's an option. I can make that come back. Might. Okay. I guess might to gain life. Interesting that that's the best card they could have pulled from their saga. Paying cost. Another Overlord of the Bailmerk. I mean, they have a lot of hits now. Nethergoyf. Emperor Bones. Returns Nethergoyf. Okay. It's a 6-7. And that is objectively a problem. They cannot make a construct. They then get Overlord. Yep. Again, green source would be good here to get rid of the Overlord. Devourer, K command. It's not great, but it's okay. I guess at the very least, this does get me my green source that I've been after. And does drain them a bit as well. Oh, son of a... Me thinking over here like, oh yeah, I can cast the Mycospawn. I know, I don't have a green source. Fresh Owl. Oh, that's so frustrating. We have how many? We have 2, 5, 9, 10 green sources in this deck. And we whiffed. Wild. Alright, behold. See, I don't know if attacking here makes sense. I'm surprised they're still not making constructs. Still baffles me. Trojan? Really? Okay, sure, you get another Overlord, be my guest, I guess. Oh, it can attack too? Wild. I'm at 10. So I have to block 2. Returns Nethergoyf and Emperor Bones? Yeah. So we'd have to block 2. And I could block an Overlord with a TKS and block a Nethergoyf with a spawn. I think that's pretty reasonable. Yeah, let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah. Not to mention it that Heralds is reducing. So, Overlord down, TKS down, does draw you a card. Unfortunately. Two, 4, 5, 6. And I think we just keep the World Breaker underneath the lab. So you have Nethergoyf and a Bones. So Bones can hit the Mycospawn with TKS again. Cast Nethergoyf. Alright. I do need blockers. Draw. Okay, there we go. So now the question is, how do you want to proceed? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 minus 3 plus 2. Yeah, no. So if I went 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. That leaves us with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, if I had returned this on end step, we could have done it, but now we can't. So in that case, I will... I'm going to return World Breaker to hand. Yeah. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, like I said, I'm short 1. Okay. I'm not crazy for thinking that. Because at this point, we'll have 1, 2. Then 3, 4, or 3. Yeah, okay. So, Flashraker trigger. Exile Overlord the Belcher. They're down to 5. We can cleanly block the Nethergoyf. And even if they were to Bones into TKS, that's fine. So I think we're solid. Next we play the Myco Spawn. The blocks. I don't know why you would do that, though. Like, that just leaves you vulnerable, right? Paying cost. Overlord of the Belcher. Grabs a Hex Mage. Or an Emperor Bones. I guess there's another Nethergoyf, actually. Grabs Nethergoyf, plays Nethergoyf. Only had another Bazooka Bug. I will it doesn't matter, it's not like I play Emrakul. Draw. Hit that Heralds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. Triggers. Kick Myco Spawn. Triggers. After the Urborg. Didn't we discover that you... Oh no, that's right. We already used our Ghost Quarter. They exiled it. In that case, we'll grab an E-Temp. So now we're down to 3, down to 2. We win. Because that will trigger. So we just attack with World Break, hit that Herald's Clarion Fleshrake. And that should be lethal damage. Yeah, because Hailormite doesn't have lifelink. It's a death trigger. So damage will be dealt first, trigger will be put on the stack, and then we win. Good stuff. Alright. Not bad. I mean, that there is a 4-1 record at the end of 5. Our only loss being the Broodscale, and our opening hands were kinda hot garbage. So I will take that as I will. Otherwise, some interesting decks that we played against today. I mean, obviously, at the beginning of a season, at the end of a season, always is when like the meta is very much in flux and kind of all over the place. Um, but was a fun league. We played against Zoo, we played against Belcher, played against a Basking Broodscale variant. I would say. I wouldn't say it's a normal list, but I do like the Young Wolf iteration. It is interesting at the very least. But Anti-Causal Vestige feels really good. I like it. I like it a lot. I think it has a lot of potential. I'm not sure if it's a 4 of, though, or less, but just getting some testing done. See what's working, see what's not. It's possible that maybe it's a 2 of, and then like maybe we bring in some Wastecape Battle Mage. I really don't like Chalice of the Void in aggro, to be completely honest. So I'm doubtful that I will bring that back, even if we cut some number of Vestige. But yeah, the list feels good. Null Drifter feels good. Sometimes a 2 mana draw 2 is enough, right? Even a Divination sometimes is enough when you're like, cool, I have nothing going for me here, but I can draw into something, and you do. Null Drifter is good in that way. And especially if there's a Flesh Raker on board, then it's, you know, either a 2 mana draw 2, or if there's an It That Heralds, then it's a 1 mana draw 2. Like, it can be kind of nutty when you do break it down that way. Same with Vestige. Sometimes it is just a Explore, but like that's really good when its floor is an Explore and its ceiling is put a creature into play, right? So it's very interesting. Not to mention ceiling really is actually 4 mana 7/5 haste it with Line Breaker, make it into a 9/5 swing in for 12 damage on turn 2, or I mean it can be as early as turn 3. Yeah, turn 3, because Line Breaker turn 2. I guess you could Line Breaker turn 1. I guess you could do it as early as turn 2 if you do have a Gemstone Caverns, but that's a bit unusual. So as early as turn 3, it can be pretty good. So I'm excited to test more Vestige. I'm excited to test more with more Edge of Eternity cards. I think tomorrow I'm either going to be playing E-Ramp or E-Tron. E-Tron, I have some new cards there that I'm very excited to play. The new Spaceship, the Endstone. I think there's one other thing that I brought in, but either ways, some fun things that we are able to test out. Ramp, there might actually be something I test in Ramp tomorrow. We saw that Iskatil Explorer. There's some discussion of whether or not that sees play in Ramp. I don't see it personally. I think cutting Chrysalis right now would be a mistake with Zoo being as high as it is, but that's my personal opinion, so I'm not entirely sold on that idea, but it's something to consider and think about. That being said, though, that there will be the end of today's video. As always, if you did enjoy it, please do consider hitting the like button. Comment down below if you had seen any lines that I missed, any mistakes that I made, or any general feedback would be much appreciated. For as much as I hope that you all learn from me and both my success and failures, I hope I can learn from you all as well. Last but not least, if you have reached this point in the video and haven't already, please do consider hitting the subscribe button. We're getting closer and closer to our next goal of 1,000 subscribers. At which point, I'll start saving up some money for a stream PC so I can stream live over on Twitch as well as upload over on YouTube. In the meantime, though, if you do want to support me monetarily, you can do so over my Patreon, where you get early access to my YouTube videos. With that being said, though, folks, I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye!